Hello gamers, back with more Star Technology after the interruption from before. Now it's quite a bit later, so this one won't be as long I think, but I want to continue a bit, and as usual I need one moment to set up the behind the scenes, let's say. Basically just Coach Chip. He's very important to have. Okay, alright, here he goes. And I'm ready as well. What we wanted to do is get more power for create setup using the large water wheels. So I'm gonna go on that. And also fix this mess, I hope.
Coach Chip here, AAA certified crafting strategist, reporting for duty. Posixtron, your inventory is screaming for optimization. You've got 64 stacks of cobblestone pulverized connecting, way to hoard like a bronze leaguer. Hydrate, then turn that mess into fire bricks. We need machines, not inventory Tetris, and those large water wheels. Useless, without a steam age setup. You're sitting on a 0% progression efficiency rating right now. Fix it, now.
Okay, that was pretty harsh, Coach. Because we actually I'm gonna disagree here. These water wheels are gonna be very important even though we are not in a steam age yet. So just a disagreement with the gaming coach. No problem. So can I... Is it far enough back? Do you think I have enough? Just gonna move them like here, right? Yep. Now we can put some more floor. Just to extend the water wheels. Yeah. Not single, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we need more space. Space is always the issue here. And once we have space, I'm very sure I will mess up the logistics, the organization, putting stuff in places where they make sense. That's a problem for later, because right now we're lacking space. Always. It always gets me. 2, 1. Okay. So we can put a crafting table here that might be useful to have more crafting tables than just one. And some stairs, so because we're gonna put water and maybe where do we put the water? Where does it? I guess it would make maybe it would be easier to just have the water here on the bottom, right? Because the water wheels don't care, so no problem, we just put the water wheels 1 block higher maybe. So we can have the water running through under them. Well, that's not what I wanted, but it's okay. Gonna put the wheel on here like this. And then some, maybe with slabs. Okay, time to rechisel again to normal. Yes. and get some slabs on here. Actually, we have this effortless building. Nice, nice. Okay, that is really effortless. That is true to the name. And now if we put water, did I do it right? If we put the water like here, it's flowing. Okay, then that should be pretty easy to expand in the future. We just put infinite water here. Also, that water looks very nice. I think I would bathe in here. Okay, we need more slabs, but the concept works, so we can expand it a bit for the future, because we will want more water wheels, I guess. You can never have enough. Yeah, let's just fill it up until here. Just gonna fill it up. Is it even enough? So I thought I was being generous, but actually it was exactly what we needed. Well, then that's a problem for later. Okay, now we got that, and I just wanna get everything to maximum, to the maximum speed. So just gonna put the usual gear reduction. Well, it's not a reduction, it's the opposite. What's the name of that? Well, we're gonna make it faster, right? So that's the important part. Do I have shafts? Shafts? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Wood. And yeah, we need some more big gears. I don't really know how many. And I think there's also a trick where you can put a small water wheel on the big water wheels, and then they will double in speed, but we don't need such tricks. Alright, and now we can just do that until we got some good speed going. Okay, also you can never have enough or too many cogwheels, so just gonna craft some more. Let's see how okay, we reached maximum speed. It seems down here. And that we can hook up. Yes, that we can hook up to our main, to the other machines. So I guess a chain drive would be pretty good here, or we do small gears. That's fine, right? One more. That looks right to me. They should match. All right, now we're working at full speed here. Let's see how fast we get a plate from that. Very nice. All right. I'm just thinking if we hook up also the crushing wheels, we might be already putting too much stress on that contraption, but we just have to see. So let's hook these up as well. So we need some gears coming out here. The big gears, they don't... okay, they don't mesh nicely. It's okay, we can just make many small gears over there instead. That's also viable, I guess. Okay, now that doesn't connect like that. Overstressed. Well, no problem. The solution to overstress is... Wait, but even... That is maximum speed. Is there any speed increase? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, I was just wondering that if we put enough stress units on there, if any of the gears will break, but I think it looks fine. So yeah, we just make more water wheels after we sleep. I'm not afraid to just expand this as much as we need, because the whole concept of this mod pack is a bit ridiculous. So we can just expand it as far as Create allows us. I don't know if there's any limit to the sizes of these moving contraptions. So we just need wood. I mean, these water wheels are pretty cheap, so yeah. Okay, so we need a stack. A stack is 16 logs, right? Something like that. And yeah, let's expand. Let's get some more of the nice connecting stuff going on here. We just build more. Okay, that mod is really great actually, the effortless building. That allows for some quick base expansion. Alright, platform. Now the slabs. I don't have enough. Well, that's barely enough. So let's put the water first. That's a bit easier. No. Exactly. No. From here. Okay. And we need a second water. Here. Nice. And here the water formed automatically. Okay, now we can just put more water wheels. Ah, it's already running. Okay. Actually, we didn't need that many stress units. Okay. Well, now we got them. And I'm sure we will need them eventually. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. We are moving in the wrong direction now. Well, because of course, no problem. No problem. We can make a gear shift. How was it? So the gear shift turns around rotational motion if you put a redstone signal on it. That is exactly what we need here. Let's make that redstone. All right, and we will need a lever. Let's grab one cobblestone. Oh. And yeah. I mean the rest of the... Okay, the fire is going right. So... I have chain drives as well. I could put like chain drive with... Yeah, let's... Okay, let's redesign this a bit. Let's put a chain drive here. Another chain drive here. Does it fix it already?
Hey there, Posixtron. Coach Chip here.
Yes.
Your certified progression optimization specialist.
Yes, Coach.
POS, with a PhD in tick perfect crafting. First things first, hydrate or your EV efficiency drops by 21.3%. Now, let's break this down. You're sitting on a gold mine of early game potential, but your inventory is a Bronze League disaster. 57 sticks. That's a critical mass of underutilized crafting potential. You need to convert those into large cogwheels ASAP. We're talking a 300% increase in mechanical throughput. And listen, 14 sand is not a sand emergency, but it's close. You need to hit those Glassworks quests like they're the final boss. No more smelting sand like a noob. Grind that flint, mix it, and sizzle it on a campfire. That's diamond tier glass production right there. Also, why are you hoarding 23 dark oak planks? That's a 7% decrease in your inventory efficiency quotient, eek. Convert them into something useful or drop them like a bad habit. Lastly, that soul campfire is your ticket to early game dominance. Use it to automate Blackstone sieving, or I swear your progression efficiency units, pew, will tank harder than a noob in lava. Now chug some water and let's get those quests cleared.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Meanwhile, I put one cobblestone stack through the crushing wheels, and now we have amazing speeds for crushing, so we can really generate some resources. Because obviously you can never have enough resources, but I'm not sure exactly which resources we need, so well, I just took the gravel and made it out. Okay, seems good. Let's... yeah, we wanted to make an encased fan, another encased fan. Also this whole thing needs a redesign. That is a bit terrible. Now that we have more power, we can redesign, I think, a bit. Put some smelting maybe in that direction. Okay, and we need cleaning, smelting, and haunting. So we need 3 encased fans, and we have 1 already. So 2 more encased fans, I think. Encased fan. So let's do that. Let's get some casings. We need to... Okay, that was not so smart. To collect them, we need to apply this anyway in the world. Then we need 3 or 2 propellers rather. So that's 8 iron plates. Now we can admire the speed again. The speed of the press, the mechanical press. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. That really feels like an upgrade. A huge, huge upgrade. Alright, 2 more propellers, and we're missing shafts. Yeah, because I put them away just about now. 2 more fans. Let's get that. Let's get this fan. And let's start with the redesign here. We could also go in here and maybe have him out of the way facing that direction. Maybe that is better than in that direction, because the hot air really hurts if I walk into it. I think it's more controlled in that direction, but maybe when the mechanical crafter is in the way. And maybe we want some crushing wheels soon. Probably we want more soon, so we shouldn't... Should we dismantle this? Decisions. Okay, I'm gonna put that stuff... Also that. Let's move everything first. Okay. Okay, that I guess that can stay. This doesn't look right. What did it work last time? That doesn't look. The mixer is currently out of order as well. So okay, let's take it as well. Okay, so the only thing that stays, because it's just too much work to move, is the stone barrel and the wooden barrel set up here. And it's night, so let's sleep. And also a cactus grew, so maybe it's time to harvest it. I try not to get too distracted, but yeah, we should use the opportunity to get some more cacti. So let's see. How are we gonna do this? Okay, now that I look at it with a bit more clearness, yeah, I think the fans should be here, and moving the mechanical crafter is not gonna be too much of an issue. If we want more of these crushing wheels, we can just rebuild it later. And now we have space here to build defense. Maybe on a line with the wheels, so maybe we put one here, and one here. We're all looking in the wrong direction. Can the wrench rotate these? Is this costing durability? 255? No, it's free to rotate. That's very nice. And that is maybe an ideal setup for more chain drives, I would say. So, okay, I really need more crafting tables around the place. Okay, more chain drives. Well, that is not enough. More casings, more casings. Okay, X broke. We're getting low on iron. Maybe we should get started on preparing some more iron. Where the sticks? Well, in a moment, because our smelter is currently out of order. Andesite. As long as you have enough andesite, it's fine. Okay, that doesn't apply vein mining. It's alright. Okay, just 2 more chain drives, so 1 more iron nugget. Yeah, the inventory is a mess. The coach is totally right. The inventory is a total mess. Alright, these are hooked up. And now the big question is, will the rotation speed be right or nay? Let us see. And I realized that maybe that was not ideal. Because now we have an offset with the chain drive and the attaching wheels. But we could also just, I guess, go here. Really, my create stuff is always such a mess. To that, then it's still offset by 1. Okay, but when we have gear, and we're moving in the right direction. Now the problem with that is that we're losing speed, but I'm not sure how much of a problem it really is. So for now, we'll just assume it's fine. I would say. Now I'm just gonna put some holder for the different fluids, for the active materials. I don't know what to call them. So for example, this one will be lava. This one will be the haunting, and then we will have one for cleaning. Well, goodbye torch. Then yeah, we need 1 more block like this, so we can throw our items here and we won't be blown away. And now I've created quite a dangerous situation for me. They can be hurt or blown off the platform. Okay, I need more cobblestone. Yeah, look at that. Now the stone barrel can also work at maximum capacity. And actually maybe it's time to switch also here to our new... Oh, we're not connecting. Useless. Well, that was my fault. Okay. Actually, let's make it full like that. So So in the hopes that this will be a bit safer. Also something like this. I think now that looks kind of safe-ish. And for good measure also here. When we can replace that cobblestone with a nicer one. And that's our very basic ore processing, right? So now we can get onto some iron, which can be washed for a chance of nickel, I think. Let's look at the ore processing. For iron. If we wash it first, yep, there's a chance for nickel. The purified, we can smelt, but in the future I want to get a vibrating table for chance of tin. But for now, we just need iron, so we're gonna wash it and then smelt it. And now we wait. But I think the coach will talk soon.
Coach Chip here,
yes.
Certified Progression Optimization Specialist, CPOP. First off, Posixtron, your inventory management is a disaster. You've got 30 slots used, and I'm already seeing at least 2 inventory efficiency points, EAP, lost to disorganization. That's Bronze League at best. You've got the tools, but where's the execution? A basic burner and basin sitting idle. That's like having a Ferrari and walking everywhere. Get that steam power online now. Every tick without it is a 0.003% loss in your early game power index, EGP. And those 64 stacks of pulverized cobblestone, you're hoarding like a noob. Turn that into fire bricks, or I'm docking your progression efficiency units pews. Hydrate, refocus, and let's get those quests completed. We're building a dynasty here, not a storage room.
Okay, thank you, coach. I'm not so sure about a dynasty without any other people. But he's right, we should start looking at some quests about what the next steps are. But getting some iron is never a problem. Is never a bad idea. Okay, and I'm just noticing the problem with that setup. It looks cool, but we cannot get the items. So I'm gonna swap these things again with slabs for easier item recollection. Yeah, we got 64 iron and 7 nickel. The nickel will be handy in the future, I'm sure. Nickel, andesite, half of the iron goes here, and the other half we put into the kiln for some more wrought iron. And yeah, we still need to hook up again, at least, yeah, both of these things. We need to hook up the mixer and the press. And I think we weren't so bad here, right? So after all, I'm just gonna put them back where they were, more or less. I guess you can put the gearbox right here with the press and the depot there. Then the mechanical mixer. Well, he needs a sideway rotation, so we need large cogwheels. Okay, let's see if we cannot figure that out. For example, put it here, one on top, and the mixer. Okay. By putting a small cogwheel here, yeah, it breaks. So that's a bit a problem with working with full high speed, I see. So we need to first reduce the speed and then rotate. And that is gonna take some finagling. I think, or maybe like this. Okay, it still doesn't connect. Does it need to connect to a... Okay, it seems like it needs to connect to a small wheel. Which now runs at full speed again. I think it's full speed anyway. When we have a basin and the burner, so basin, we can put the burner below. We can make it nice and accessible, so let's do the old water building trick again. I think that's all we need. Ah yeah, where we have something else from our previous episodes. You know, just for some kind of access, if you wanna access this, and I guess it doesn't hurt to have a bit of underground structure if you wanna expand on that later somehow. For now we just want this nice and accessible in a safe way, so let's also put better way so it looks a bit nicer. And we will need to replace some of the floor in the future. Right now that is not my priority. So our base is getting kind of spatially expanded. Did we load any chunks or claim chunks? No. Well, maybe today, maybe now is a good time to just claim some chunks and keep them loaded. Yeah, why not? Okay, one more thing out of the way. We put the mixer, okay, we have the devices put back in place. We are upgraded. Very nice, very nice. Okay, let's clean up the inventory a bit and then look at the quests and figure out our next steps. We did the Witchwater quest because I wanted to get some blackstone. Right, I wanted to haunt some cobblestone. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get some of that blackstone haunted. I hope this doesn't take too long. I'm not sure what to say while waiting for these fan recipes. We can plan further. We get the blackstone, and when we need to get crushed blackstone, yeah, we can just put it in the grinding wheels, crushing wheels. So no problem there, I assume. And then we can sieve it, and then we can get some lead, and with the lead we can get aqueous accumulators for our water needs. Blackstone. Does it have any other immediate uses for us? Weeping, twisting. Well, it is our dictionary equivalent to just cobblestone. Anything else? Can be broken. Yeah, breaking. We can make dust from it. Alright. Crafting, crushing, chiseling. Okay, doesn't seem too useful to us other than crushing and sieving it. Yeah, that is nice and fast. That is tolerable. Also talking about making everything safe, maybe I should do that here as well. Just gonna put down some rocks so I'm not at risk of falling down there. That would be nice. Okay, that still looks scary, but is safe. It's perfectly safe. Okay, we got it crushed. More quests. Thank you. Now we can sieve it. For galena and stibnite. Then we can get to processing it. I would also like to get a vibrating table. Okay, yeah, you see there is a lot of stuff. Wait, we have... Okay, I'm really trying not to get distracted, but quality of life. I think, yeah, clipboard. Maybe that is useful. Paper, plank, and andesite. Paper. Do I have some paper left by chance? Yes. Depends on the implementation, but maybe it helps us stay organized. Keeps your notes and makes you look more professional. When right-clicked opens the interface, sneak-click to place it on a surface. When used on blocks, can be copied. Okay, so we can place it. Test. Well, it doesn't render it inward, but okay, we could have it as like a task board as well. So, like on the back here. Yeah, why not? And we can have to-do lists. Nice. So we can have the aqueous accumulator. We need a vibration table, I think it's called, and whatever the spring maker is called. Just some create stuff. And what's also important is gonna be the farm. We want rubber extraction. Okay, yeah, you know. Oh, so I don't think that helped much. We need to figure out a path. Fire bricks. It seems like we should do fire bricks for the primitive steelworks, because now we have a way of rapidly doing this. But the fire bricks, they require brick and clay dusts. And this is a nicely accomplished using the belt grinder. So, okay, let's go back here. After the accumulator, let's say, okay, here's what we're gonna do. I want the spring maker machine, whatever it's called, then the vibrating table. Then with the vibrating table and the washing, we have some pretty good ore processing for things we might need. And then the belt grinder, that is very important. With the belt grinder and all the infrastructure we have, we can finally start with the fire bricks. We will need quite a lot of it for making steel, but because steel is gonna be a very important objective. And considering these targets, it doesn't really make sense that I spend time now sieving the black rock, right? Or blackstone. Well, Well, it's almost done anyway now, so well, let's just do that. I think we have a chance of getting silver if we process that correctly. The galena. Okay, yeah, it's very important to get sulfur for rubber later, but yeah, we have a chance for silver dust. Then on the vibrating table, we can have a sulfur chance. So I'm not gonna process this yet. First, I wanna get the vibrating table, and I think that needs springs. So I wanna make the spring, the spring coiling machine first. It requires a block of iron. And some more iron. Well, andesite casings.
Coach Chip here, PhD in progression efficiency and certified diamond tier ore processor. Listen up, Posixtron, you're sitting on a mountain of crushed galena ore, and you haven't even touched the Glassworks quest yet. That's a Silver League oversight. You're leaving at least 2 crafting potential points on the table. Hydrate, then grind that flint and sand like your life depends on it, because in star technology, it does. And those 9 apples, fuel for your EBF, not your stomach. Prioritize.
Did he just say the apples are fuel for the blast furnace? Well, that doesn't seem right. But yeah, let's get rid of the apples. Okay. And now we have marvelous technology. We have the coiling machine. Okay, these chain drives are quite useful, so maybe I should consider a way of speeding up again. But I guess for now it will do. So we need 4 springs. Yeah, you see that recipe is why I didn't want to do it manually. And we need long iron rods. So 1 spring is 2 iron, so we need 8 iron. We need 8 iron filed into rods. Come on. And then hammered together somehow to make long iron rods. Now we can get some springs from that. Nice. Now the vibrating table requires a nickel plate. Ah, yes, so that's why I'm not gonna smelt more, because we need these, I think, mostly for some, for Invar. So I'm just gonna leave it in a dust form, the things we don't need. And then the mechanical piston is piston extension pole. Okay. Easy, easy, easy. Piston extension. And a slab. Don't have wooden slabs anymore. Okay. So, and another thing that would be very helpful to have soonish is to have the Tom's inventory mod, which kind of just helps us access all these chests from one terminal to make everything a bit more accessible. Ah yeah, we need to melt the nickel dust and then press it into a plate. Okay, we got the nickel ingot, nickel plate. Now we're ready for the vibrating table. Very cool. Vibrating table. With that we can, I think, start the lead processing. You see, I also put the ores in the wrong chest. And what do we get from the stibnite? Antimony. And also sulfur. Yeah, I don't know too much about stibnite processing. For now I'll leave it, but I'll take the galena to process it that way. So washing, vibrating, washing, and I guess smelting what is left over. Just gonna put it there and come back in a moment. Because spring maker, okay, belt grinder. Another very important thing, machine. We need a grinder belt, we need sandpaper. Luckily, we now have a pretty steady supply of sugarcane. Can be automated a bit more with the farm still, but it's enough. So we need 8 paper and 8 sand. And I mean, it's just very good because the grinder doesn't require any durability from the tools. We got 15 silver from that. That's pretty nice. Now we can put that on a vibrating table. And it'll vibrate. And we should consider adding some chutes to that. And the problem is always, I'm putting the machines on the ground, but then you would need to go underground to make the outputs really nicely accessible for proper automation. Do we have some chutes? One chute pairs well with a chest. Even if we don't have some automatic way of getting rid of stuff. Wait, it's still working. So, but it cannot. All right. Then we can put the purified into the washing. Yeah, that's working nicely. Okay, so we will have another stack. Yep. Just in time for the washing here. So I purified, and that should be done soon as well. Yeah, and you see the ore processing is quite fast now. Okay, we need some sand for the... And we got some sand. We need 8 sandpaper. If I remember correctly, it was just sand and paper. Yes. Okay, we got the grinder belt. Okay, that is done. Just... So the last pieces of the purified here. And meanwhile, we will continue. Okay, we need one more andesite casing and one shaft. We got the belt grinder, which will make making the fire bricks a lot easier. Okay, that is done. We got 15 silver and 16 sulfur from that. Not bad, not bad. That are useful resources. Yeah, I wanna put more chain drives. These are very useful for expanding, especially using these machines. Look, I have more. Very well done. I can put it here and another chute. Another chute might be in order. It's raining again. It's even a thunderstorm. I don't feel like it. Okay, goodbye. Please. Thanks. Okay, just crafting some more chutes for automating the grinder. And you'll see in a moment why. We need some chests. Okay. Wait, the spring coiling probably also works with chutes. But I don't want the chests to connect. Wait, we don't connect if I click them with shift on here, right? Yeah, nice. So that is some half automation. We can input automatically, but not output. So we got nickel. That was a quest, very nice. So we will need fire bricks. For the primitive steelworks, we will need 32 fire bricks. The primitive ore factory also 64. But most importantly, we will want more steel furnaces, blast furnaces. So maybe I'm gonna make 1.5 stacks of these fire bricks. I think that's a good amount to aim for now. So let's look at the crafting tree for that. 4 fire bricks turn into 1 fire brick block. So 1.5 stacks turns into, quick maths, 6 stacks, right? 6 stacks of these fire bricks. They need to be smelted from compressed fire clay, which are formed by fire clay dust. Still 6 stacks. Let's make 8 stacks to make it nice and round. Okay, let's make 8 stacks of these. So we need 4 stacks of clay dust and 4 stacks of brick dust, which means we need 8 stacks of clay. Dust. So we need 8 stacks of these clay blocks, which you get from soaking dust in water. So we need 8 stacks of dust, and 8 stacks of dust, of course, comes in the end from grinding 8 stacks of cobblestone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, that is a mass processing task. I think the first mass processing task of this mod pack, really, right? Anyway, I'm gonna let that grind. I mean, we can do something else. We can look at some more quests. Wait, there's still an unclaimed quest reward. 1 coin, I'll take it. Latex extraction, right? That is important. That will need glass and lead. So good thing we just did the lead stuff. Or maybe we want to look at the Tom's hardware, Tom's inventory. So we need this inventory connector. It's gonna be a bit expensive. Ah yeah, we need Nether quartz, which we get. How did we get that? Washing soul sand. Okay, so we want one more stack of sand for haunting. Wait, we still have a bit of sand, right? That we can wash and haunt. Yeah, I think if you haunt sand, it's becomes soul sand, right? Yeah. So let's do that while we wait. Then we can just put it in here for washing.
Coach Chip here, PhD in primitive progression optimization. Listen up, Posixtron, you're sitting on a mountain of pulverized cobblestone, but your quest log is screaming for action. First, hydrate, your inventory's looking dry. Now, let's talk strategy. Glassworks is a free win. Grind that flint, mix it with sand, and boom, textbook early game crafting 1-in-1. You're basically throwing away progression points, PP, by not doing this immediately, and slime and resin. That's your Bronze League ticket to sticky success. Don't make me bench you for inefficient resource management.
I'm really trying, Coach, to be efficient about this, but there's so many paths and I'm having a hard time deciding what is the most efficient way to do these things. I'm just gonna go one way. I think the most important part of this is to not get decision paralysis, right? If you just keep on going, just make incremental progress, you will get there eventually. But if you can never decide on what to do, you will never make progress. Okay, we got some stone, and I think, do we have enough redstone? Yeah. Now we can make this comparator. Okay, we're missing sticks, of course. Now, 1, 2, 3. Comparator. Is there any quest? No. Inventory connector. Nice. That in itself cannot do much because we cannot really interface. We need the crafting terminal, which comes from the storage terminal, which needs more comparators. More comparators, so crafting, storage. We need glowstone. Okay, glowstone. Where do we get glowstone dust? That is missing. I see we are missing some more resources. Also glass. I need to make, well, at least one glass. Where did glowstone dust come from? How was that? Sifting dust. Really? I never sifted dust? Okay. I guess it's one more stack we want ground up in here. Ah, look, it's already through the cobblestone. I'm just gonna take the 40 sand here. This will have priority. And okay. You can take the gravel and put it through the grinder. Okay, we got the dust. Let's sift it for some glowstone. Yes. And some ender pearls. Okay, easy. Okay, we got the glowstone and we need sand. And we might as well make a stack, right? I think the resources are not holding us back too much. Glass. Is made by sizzling in the kiln glass dust. And for that we need quartz sand and flint dust. And so we need 8 flint dust for a stack, 8 flint dust. We had a lot of flint, right? Where did it go? Ah, it's in the inventory. We can just grind it here, I think. So let's put in 8. Yes. And the quartz sand, we need 63 quartz sand. And the quartz sand is made by grinding sand, so we need 1 more stack. Yeah, we're really making good use of these weirds, so we would really need some more, I think, soon. Luckily we have some sand here, we can grind it. Just 63 though. 1 can go back. And now we can listen to that lovely noise 63 times. And by that placed, I'm just gonna have another sip from my water. Nice. Yeah, I guess we could put the torch here. Why not? And yeah, we should really speed that up. That is too slow. It's automated, but it's still too slow. Okay, last quarter of a stack. Come on, you can do it. Okay, wait, 1 more. Yes. Now we can make that glass dust. Actually, what was I thinking? We need the last sand. I'm off by 1. Very impressive. Definitely very impressive. Okay, now. Yeah, you see, there is a lot of projects to do. Okay, we got the glass dust. Let's put it in the kiln. There we got some wrought iron. And just gonna wait for the first glass, because we need it immediately. Nice. And I think that was also a quest. So we're making good progress, I think. Okay, we got the glass. Let's get the storage terminal. We're missing. I put stuff everywhere. So 1 chest. 1 chest. Okay, now we have the storage terminal. If we want directly improve it to the crafting terminal, for that we need 4 diamonds. And as you can see, we just have 2 diamonds. But okay, You see, we have access at least to the storage already. That's very nice. Diamonds. Diamonds are obtained by sifting sand. So it seems like we want another stack of sand. And meanwhile, that's sand. Wait. I'm kind of losing track of what we put in here for what purpose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 stacks of sand. Yeah, 1 stack of sand was for bulk haunting, for soul sand, for getting soul sand. That I remember. The other stuff, no idea what else I put there. But it's never a bad idea to make something in preparation. Bulk crafting is the name of the game here. Otherwise you will become insane. I say, and then I don't actually bulk craft most of the things there. You know, it's hard to live the things you preach. Should I just wash everything of that? I don't need so much nether quartz. I'm gonna put half in here for washing, and I'll keep the other half for whatever might pop up. Meanwhile, we can claim the Glassworks quest. Which opens up latex extraction, which is very important for all the rubber we need. It's a very important part of circuits as well, but we're closing in on the circuits. Mixing the dust, that should be pretty easy. I just didn't do it yet. Okay. Got some nether quartz, we got some gold nuggets. We have some soul sand. And now, so I wanted, for the diamonds, I wanted to sift sand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But first let's do more of the processing for the fire bricks. These need now to go into the wooden barrel, and that definitely should also be automated. Already out of wood again. Okay, let's take a stack here. There's not a stack anymore. So what you'll see is, what we also need is a tree farm. Because I cannot be bothered to manually harvest these trees anymore, and a good idea is to use Create for that, but it needs the super glue, so we need to look at the resin. You know, okay, the tree farm is still blocked by a lot of things, so let's just power through and try to get the steelworks going. We would need 2 chests, 1 input and 1 output. Then another chute here. Gonna put the chest here, and I think it's accessible, right? Yeah, barely. Now we do soaking, and if you put dust in here, we get out clay. Yeah. So that produces the clay, and we can come back to that later. What we needed is sand. Okay. That leaves 1 stack unaccounted for. What did I want? 1 stack of sand or gravel or dust for? I really don't remember. So I'm just gonna leave it like this in there. Okay, we got the sand. Time for some more manual sifting for diamonds. Come on, diamond. Okay. I think that's all the diamonds we needed. This also gives us never quartz. So that whole process with the soul sand was not necessary. Good to know. Okay, one sand was misplaced. Let's put it through here as well. Nice. 16 diamonds. Yeah, we got plenty now. To make the crafting terminal. Just need 4 workbenches. And now we got the crafting terminal. That is some huge help, and now we don't need to care about inventory management anymore. We can just put stuff in here and it will be kind of organized somehow. That's very nice. Okay, let's see what was it, a to-do list? No, belt grinder we have. Fire bricks, tree farm. Tree farm will need creosote. Retreated planks. Well, not the tree farm, just a general farm. The tree farm will need create stuff.
Hello, Posixtron.
Yes.
Coach Chip here, your certified master of progression optimization, MPO, and hydration enforcement officer, HEO. First off, let's address that inventory, 64 stacks of dust. That's a Bronze League inventory management right there. We need to consolidate those stacks. Stat. Now, let's talk quests. You've got Steam Powered available, and that's your golden ticket to early game dominance. Forget blazes, we're going full-on basic burner meta. But first, you need to hydrate. I see no water bucket in your hotbar. That's a critical error. Hydration is key to maintaining optimal crafting speed and precision. Next up, a large farm and a large barrel quests are calling your name. We need to set up a crop production line that would make even the most seasoned esports farmers jealous. And those barrels, they're your ticket to slime domination. But remember, Posixtron, without proper hydration, your efficiency bonus factor is basically running on copium. Now, let's talk about those flint stacks. 31x flint is a good start, but we need to aim for at least 64x for optimal crafting efficiency. And those cobblestone pulverized connecting, they're your building blocks to success, but only if you use them wisely. Lastly, don't forget to practice your stone barrel automation drills. We need to get your lava placement accuracy, LPA, up to at least 95% if you want to compete in the big leagues. Now, let's get out there and make some progress. And remember, hydration is key to maintaining peak performance.
The AI sure likes to yap. Okay, he wants to focus on Steam. I disagree. Once again, I disagree with the coach. Maybe it's time we part ways. He's talking a lot of wrong things tonight. Okay. Yeah, while we wait for this to grind down, we can look further. So what would be some good plan of action? Definitely the latex, right? And the automation for getting the slime, which comes from the Sleetake spores. I'm assuming it should be pronounced like the mushroom. So slime, very important, comes from the Sleetake spores. which we can get first by sifting some mud, but that is clearly not sustainable. But we can replicate this Liitake using witch water. So now you see we're getting some processing lines with liquids already. We need to create witch water and then duplicate some important stuff with it. But I think that is a task for next time. It's getting kind of late. I will just wait until that clay is ground down. Meanwhile, maybe we can look at some other stuff here. Power. We don't really have access to power yet because we are still in a kinetic age, mechanical age. Okay, so what is that? Quality of life. Pipes. Pipes would be nice. We need bronze plates, so we need to get some alloys going and tiny copper fluid pipes, which momentarily we can just do with the tools. But I think these would be quite beneficial for some things. I don't know how far we can automate these wooden barrels for the production of this Liitake. We'll have to see. And I guess for that it would be also very helpful to have one of these aqueous accumulators. So maybe we're gonna put that on the wish list here. Spring coiling, encased fan, kiln, glass lead. Yeah, we got everything to make that now. Okay, we're in the last stack for the clay dust. I guess in the meantime, more of the clay is done. Yeah, well, let's see. Come on. Come on. Yeah, that really needs more speed. So let's look at this mess and figure it out. Well, it's mostly here, right? Okay, I think I see a way on how maybe to do this. But yeah, I need to stay here for now and collect the last clay dust. Okay. What if we put it like here? Okay, maybe not there then. Here. And then just some small gears going on there. It will probably turn around the rotation if you're unlucky. But maybe it works out. No. Placing these gears is a bit hard. Overstressed. Yeah, full speed is overstressed. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. But yeah, okay, that clay is done. We need this brick wooden form to create the compressed clay. So let's do that. Alright, and these need to be molten, and for that, yeah, I don't want to upgrade right now our power production, our stress unit production, so I'm gonna do it like I had it before. Now the big question is, how was it before? Not like that, but that works. That works. Okay, I got haunted. Great. So is there a shortcut to drop all of one item? Okay, that drops a stack. Works for me. Now we wait for that to cook. Yeah, you see, that is, I guess for the early game, that's a pretty massive processing quest. Come on, mate. Is turning, is turned? Seems like it. We got the bricks. We turn them into, yeah, these bricks. That's only 3 stacks. Something is not right here. That's only 3 stacks. Well, it is what it is. 3 stacks. And more grinding. Beautiful sounds. And these will go together with the clay dust to make the fire clay dust, which you can compress and once again melt for the fire bricks. And then we can make the primitive blast furnace out of it, which will give us access to steel, which right now is not so useful, I think, but it's good to start production early. I'm just gonna already combine. No. Okay, also this system needs to be better. Okay. So I'm gonna write down that we need to increase our stress unit production as a note for the next time I stream. And I leave the blast furnace on there. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to use the notepad as kind of to write down notes. Impressive. I'm finding new ways for these for these tools, for these items. No one has ever thought of that, to use a notepad for notes. But yeah, I think that's probably smart. Because I don't know when will be the next time that I stream, because life is pretty unpredictable sometimes. Okay, we are slowly getting there. Fire clay. Still 1 stack to go. I mean, that is almost full speed, but it's still so slow. I'm wondering, maybe it would have been better to just use up some mortars to get this done instantly. Well, that is the way I chose, and I'm gonna see it through. No point in changing the path now. Or is it sunk cost fallacy? I'm honestly not sure anymore. Come on. Okay, last few bricks. I hope they're actually the last, because I miscounted, so maybe we need to make another stack, but we'll see
Coach
how far we
Chip
get.
here, PhD in progression optimization and 3-time champion of the Crafting Cup. Listen up, Posixtron, you're sitting on a gold mine of fireclay dust, but your inventory is a mess. That's a 2% disorganization penalty right there. Drop those logs, slap together a large barrel, and start compressing that fireclay like your life depends on it, because in the Pro League, it does. And hydrate. Your firebrick crafting speed is tanking without proper water intake. Let's go, let's go.
Okay, I solved it. There was still a stack of clay somehow in the wooden barrel thing. So let's smelt that. And meanwhile, let's do some compression of the fire clay. Wait, let's just craft it together, at least what we have. Okay, get the fire clay. That needs to be melted as well, or fire. Okay, getting some more bricks. And that explains everything. Then once we have that, we can fire the fire clay, make the fire bricks, and then I'm gonna finish for tonight, I think. Just grinding that last stack. I guess, yeah, we could also just use a mortar. Iron mortar has 128 uses, so we would need quite a few of these. But maybe that would have been a better call, actually, instead of losing our time with the belt grinder. Well, definitely too late. I'll learn from it for the future, I think. Okay, 3, 2, 1, yep. Okay, let's get the last fire clay going here. Compress. And then we have quite a lot to smelt. So what was it? Control Q, yep. Then we need more power. I think that is clear. We need more power. We want to process stuff even faster. Or maybe some... It's done? Yes. Or we need some more, some smarter automations. I don't know if you can smartly automate the encased fan, or if the only option is to use like the belt and just time it right, or if there's any smarter way to do it. Also not so sure about the belt grinder, because it drops the item to the side, so I would need a bit more space for automation, I think. But I think the vibrating table at least can be automated with chutes. I don't know about the spring, because it also throws stuff away. I guess that needs some testing. Okay, let's make finally the fire bricks. 2 stacks of fire bricks. That should last us for a bit at least. Fire bricks, no rewards. Great. And the primitive blast furnace. Okay, let's make that as well. Primitive blast furnace controller. Primitive. We can make 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 10. Rods and a saw for 1, 2, 3, 4. Then with the file we can make screws. Then we need 2 wrought iron plates. Sure, why not? And with that, just gonna put everything in the inventory. Okay, come on, auto crafting. Well, not quite auto craft. Hammer. I don't have a screwdriver, do I? No, I need to make. Okay, I need to create a screwdriver. So I need 2 iron rods and some other tools. And I'm missing a file. Okay, come on. I just got a file. Where? Here. Come on. Okay, screwdriver. And now primitive blast furnace. 1, 2. Nice. Next stop is steel. Maybe not directly, but we're getting there. Okay, let me write down fire bricks. More water wheels for create. Primitive blast furnaces. That are the targets for. Gonna take it. That is gonna be the targets for the next stream, I think. So thanks for sticking around. I hope you'll have a nice rest of the weekend and see you soon. Thanks for watching.